Hi guys. So it's funny because I recorded that video and posted it, and I always like to listen to what I post, and it's so great because I know that I love that when Spirit's just revealing messages, and it's not me that's like coming up with the message. I'm just delivering what I feel like Spirit's telling me. And I had kind of an epiphany after I watched that video, and isn't it amazing how, love reveals itself to itself, and love recognizes itself in itself, and the remembering of that process is quite beautiful. We talk about letting go, we talk about manifestation and putting your intention somewhere. We can tend to get into the habit, and I am not pointing the finger at anybody, this has been me. We grow up with these things, these traumas that have happened in life, and we know that there's an issue, and we go about the journey to fix it. We go about the journey to find the teachers and the things and the tools and the programs to fix the problem, right? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because in that process is the discovery of oneness, is the discovery that you were never separate all along. And so, in fact, that process is quite valuable and necessary for who it is, right? Necessary for, and take the programs, do the classes. If you feel drawn to something, always do it. I always tell people, I'm never going to tell you not to take a program if you feel really drawn to it, because I mean it when I say that your journey, you will know innately what your journey should be, and I'm not going to tell somebody to disregard their own intuition about that. But along the path, you really discover that you were never separate all along. And what do I mean by that today? What is the next level of that realization? Is in the subscribing to and doing of the programs to fix the thing, there's an acknowledgement of the thing. There's an acknowledgement of the problem in the going about fixing the problem. And again, nothing wrong with all that, but you can simply acknowledge the problem, don't resist it, just accept that that's the 3D, the old story, like I said, and just put your attention on that internal environment. You don't even have to work on letting that problem go. Because, as I talk about these near-death experiences, I've listened to so many where they say that they just literally had a thought about something and were at the same time. It wasn't even a second went by and they had the experience. No, simultaneously with the formation of the thought of, hey, I'd like to go here, or I'd like to look at this droplet of water, or I'd like to experience this, or simply just putting their attention on something as they were out of their body, was immediately a manifestation of them being in that very scenario. So there was no trying to get somewhere. There was no trying to shed anything. It was just they were putting their focus on where to go and what they wanted to see, with no resistance to anything else. And so, when you think to yourself, oh, I have an anxious attachment style, or I've got money problems that I need to overcome, and I've got to manifest abundance because I've had bad money habits. In the focusing and, working on the problem is still the attention on the problem, right? The framework of fix the problem includes the problem. So let's take this one step further, and let's simply acknowledge and allow the 3Ds is old story, and that, okay, The 3D simply exists as a barometer to show you what your internal environment is doing, right? So you can say, oh, thank you 3D, you're showing me that this. And it's not even, I mean, yes, it's an awareness of separation, but kind of not at the same time, because guess what? If you are like, oh, I need to generate abundance because I have money problems, or I'm taking this course on, again, take the course, do the things. But like, in the acknowledgement of the problem, you are one with it immediately. My friend who I was telling you about, who's like, oh, I can't even be grateful for anything because the second I do, I'm worried something bad's going to happen. You are so powerful, you are immediately one with that. So like when you go to the gym and you build up your muscles, you've simply got a lot of muscles built up in the area of lack. You don't cut your arm off and say, oh, arm, like that's a problem, right? No. You're like, okay, I'm going to let that arm be, and I'm just not going to work that out. I'm not going to go lift weights on that arm. I'm going to put my focus on running instead. And the muscles of that situation, simply by the lack of attention on it, not the resistance of it, saying forcing it out of your brain, but just not putting attention on it, putting your attention on where you want it to be, allows the situation to atrophy on its own, right? So if you stop going to the gym, your muscles get smaller. If you simply, allow but quit focusing on fixing and put your attention on feeling the feeling of where you do want to go, ease and flow allow the previous thing to move aside and the new thing to manifest. Because there's no longer anything for the previous situation to hold on to. There's no longer any energetic substance for the previous situation to hold on to, because you simply are no longer putting your attention on it. And you're putting your attention and feeling only on the thing that you would like to experience. And if things come up in the 3D, allow them to come up very gently and just, oh, that's a little old story cropping up. But you don't have to go excavating. And you guys know I love the letting go process so much. But I think what we can do is, oh, I need to let go of this trauma. And what we end up doing is creating a framework for the trauma to continue to exist. And we keep releasing and releasing on the trauma with the framework that the trauma is there. So simply accept and love it. Put your attention on where you want to go, which is what we've been saying, but with a little bit of a different energy. Quit trying to fix the problem. And the trying to fix the problem is the acknowledgement and the creation of the problem. So live internally. Choose that problem simply is not there. That is old story. This is now what I choose. That's just old story. Okay. This is now what I choose. There's no fixing. There's nothing to change. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to become. There's no doing. There's only allowing. And there's only awareness. And there's only one. Full stop. So wherever your attention is, you are one with that. Trying to manifest this person or this relationship is the existence of that relationship isn't there. Quit trying to fix it. Accept and love the 3D. Go back internally. Right? And then the abandonment of the problem, not self-abandonment, but meaning allowing, without trying to push on the 3D, without trying to fix it, the solution is there. Hope that wasn't too rambly. That was just kind of a bit of a nuance to what I was saying earlier that I wanted to expand on. So hope you enjoy that.